Many people make mistakes in their writing module of the PT exam, sometimes knowingly and sometimes unknowingly. Sometimes even if you know that is a mistake or there is a problem in the template. Why? Because you believe on some people's videos. So today we are going to talk about all those silly mistakes as well as some serious mistakes that you can really avoid and that can definitely boost your PT writing scores even after exam changes. So like and subscribe and let's watch it right till the end to discover what are those interesting things. Hey everyone, this is Anurag here from Edutrainex PTE. I hope you all are doing great. So in this video, we are going to talk and focus mainly on the PT writing module and also keeping in consideration what exam changes have happened recently and how you can avoid making these silly mistakes when you are appearing for the exam so that at least you are confident about in the exam. You're not nervous that these kind of mistakes can cause your scores to drop. So everything with live demonstration will be taken care of in this particular video. And if you are still struggling with your entire PT exam despite putting a lot of efforts, you can WhatsApp us or Telegram us where we can provide you live classes as well as app access, access to mock test, all the resources what you need, the maximum of them. And if you're already preparing from somewhere and you just need little bit boost up, we do offer two types of memberships, which is Priority and VIP. In Priority, you get access to the latest exam questions, both for core and academic exam, as well as UKVI. And if you choose the VIP one, then you get a lot more. You get the vocabulary list, monthly updated for the reading module, spellings list, monthly updated for the listening part, the fill in the blanks, the write from dictation, everything is taken care of that in that. And then grammar ebooks will be there, templates will be there, exclusive access to videos will be there. So let's watch this video and learn about those interesting things related to your PT writing module. So let's see. The first one is the question related to how you are making silly mistakes related to usage of the English conventions. Now, popularly, there are two types of conventions, which is British English and the American English. Now, what you are taught if you are from India or around India, so that is British convention of language. But nowadays, when we are using lots of websites and lots of softwares like Microsoft Office, Word, there by default it's American English. What happens is with you is that you adapt some of the spellings according to the American and then some remain British. And when you go in the exam, you are mixing it up. So what is happening is which spelling should be used in the exam? The correct answer to this question is you can use any English convention in the exam, whether it's British or whether it's American. But for one piece of response, let's say summarize spoken text or summarize written text or essays, any writing. For one piece of response, you have to stick to one convention. So if you are using British convention to write words like customize with an S, then you stick to that convention. Otherwise, it is going to cause confusion to the AI, the PT cat engine, and then it will, the most words that you have used, by default, it will be British English. But if you have used some American English words as well in the same response, then it will consider those words to be wrong. Now, I'll show you shortly with a demonstration. Let's have a look. So what you see here is the Edutrainex PT practice platform. And of course, there are a lot of tools and a lot of utilities that are going to help you, including the performance and time management. And what we are here to see is the demonstration related to the types of English conventions. Now, we have given you for practice, we have given you the options to select both any of them, whichever is comfortable, so that you understand where you are making the spelling mistakes, whether you are switching the conventions accidentally or by mistake. So that's what you need to practice. So I've already compiled an answer for this using a template. Now, I have used some American conventions on purpose, but I'm just giving you a demonstration. Of course, there is no marks for spellings in this question, so my score will not be affected. But if I see the report, you see these two words pressurized with a Z, overemphasized with a Z, are considered as misspellings. And what it says is there is no marks awarded for spellings for this task, but you have made two spelling mistakes. And of course, this will be these words which the AI does not understand will have an impact on your content score. In this case, we were lucky it did not have any impact, but if it was one of the important keywords, then definitely it will impact. I think it did have some impact on the score of vocabulary, but that's unrelated. So what I'm going to do now is switch to US convention and then resubmit my response. And this time the score that I've got is of course the same score because spellings did not have any negative marks here. But for demonstration purpose, now you see these two are not regarded as spelling mistakes. So once you are writing and you see the level of feedback even for summarized written text is excellent. And when you start doing the other questions like respond to situation, the group discussion, the new ones or the old ones, whatever you see, it will give you a very detailed feedback. So which is designed specifically to help you, not to just give you a score for everything and then you are on your own. It will exactly tell you what type of mistakes are there, what is lacking in your response, so that you start improving on it. So that was the first demonstration related to your English conventions. Okay, so you understood how silly mistakes like this can cause considerable drops in the scores because, as you know, spellings are related to the points. In summarized written text, there is no points for spellings, but in the other questions there are. And even when you make the spelling mistakes, then that reduces the word count of the keywords that you have used. So that means it can also impact your content as well as your vocabulary scores as well. So spellings is really, really important. And that's why I told you the YouTube VIP membership has that spelling list monthly updated. So those are the words that are used in the exam repeatedly that we provide to you on a monthly basis that will give you a major boost to your preparation. The next one is writing about the maximum word count. Now, it is not a new news that you all know how much marks have been added to essays, summarized spoken text and summarized written text related to content. Doubled. Summarized written text 2 points earlier, now 4 points for content, and SST the same, summarized spoken text, which is a listening and writing task, and essays and emails again. So we are talking about all the exams collectively. When we talk about essays, of course, there are no changes in the PT core exam, but spellings and maximum word count is always related to all the questions. So essays also, earlier there were 3 points for content, now it's 6. And some other parameters have also been increased like general linguistics and development structure and coherence. So content has been doubled and the remaining two that I told you about have been tripled. If you have not seen our video of detailed PT scoring guidelines according to the new format of the exam, you see the thumbnail here and you should go and watch that video. Right, so coming back to the count of maximum words, now because content has been given more priority and you have to try to utilize the word count that is given to you. So if it is 50 to 70 word count for summarized spoken text in academic, in PT core exam it's of course different. So you have to try to be close to 70, at least 60, 65 words you have to write. Same thing in summarized written text. The word count is 5 to 75, so you have to be try to close to 70 to utilize and gain more points for content so that you can cover more content. Same thing with essays, 200 to 300 words. So you always have to be try to be above 280 by default. Now I know many of you do not have that much typing skill, so it's time right now because it's a technology based exam. It's time right now to start practicing typing. Okay, because half of it will be helpful from the template, but more than half you are writing on your own. Soon we will share with you the template for the essays as well. And it won't be too much of a surprise because the structure that we have been using all along is very much in line with what the Pearson exam expects. Other channels are just realizing it now, but we have already shown to you since the last 1 year or more than that. Now, so we have already given to you the templates and the new techniques for the summarized spoken text and SWT, summarized written text. Essays is coming very shortly. Then the next thing that you have to consider is usage of punctuation or not. Now this applies to all the writing questions, including right from dictation, summarized written text, summarized spoken text, essays, emails, as well as right from dictation. Now some channel used to tell you that you just have to write what is given. You don't need to worry about first letter capital and last full stop. So that is definitely a mistake, that if you believe that and if you don't follow it in the exam, you have to think about it yourself. It's a common sense. It's an English exam. So you are expected to use the English conventions. Definitely punctuation is a big part of it. If you don't do that, then it will result in a grammar mistake straight away. Even in right from dictation, it is definitely considered. We have evidence related to that. Some of the comments from the viewers, they did it without punctuation once and then with punctuation in the next attempt after listening to what we had to share. and then his scores improve dramatically. All right, let's see a small demo of it, how it can impact your scores. Okay, so for the next demonstration related to the punctuation, which is actually much more useful for you in the write from dictation and every writing question. Not so much in the summarized written text, but for simplicity, I'm just using this question. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to remove the capitalization from the first letter of every sentence is important, and full stop from here. So if I submit a response, then I'm going to get a lower score because I made some errors. And if you see the report, it will tell you replace it with capital T. And then this gives you a punctuation error straight away. Full stop is expected here. Full stop is missing. So this is what can happen to you in the write from dictation as well, because it is an English sentence. First letter capital and last letter should be full stop. And now if you go to any other writing questions and then try this for yourself, let's go and see the summarized spoken text. And now what you will see over here is, of course, the type of feedbacks that you get. See, content part is broken down, form part is broken down, grammar, spellings, vocabulary, and how you have produced your content, everything is analyzed and given to you. So if you have not started in a proper way, then it will suggest you what type of starting you should have. Or if you have not concluded in a good conclusion way, then it will also tell you that. It will also highlight which type of important words it has detected in your response and everything related to that. So you have seen the demo now. When you go to the exam, remember this. Don't ignore punctuation. Of course, word count and the other things that I talked about before just now are also important. The next is also important, using templates, whether they reduce score or not. Now, this has been a common phenomenon right from the beginning of this year or from the last year itself. The templates have been started, they were getting banned, especially from some of the institutions whose templates are used by thousands and millions of students. So they have declared it themselves. We did not test it. So what is happening with those kind of templates is they are ready-made templates, pre-memorized templates, and only few things you are adding, like keywords or just repeated topics for essays. And for other modules, it was just clustered keywords and all those sort of keywords. So if you are using those kind of templates still, then you are in a very big danger. So you have to avoid using those templates. Now the ones that we have given to you or already shared on YouTube, and in the coming days also we'll be sharing for different other modules, they have already been tested in the exam. I tested it myself. So you have seen the scores and you have seen the live demonstration of the test as well. How we put the same answers and what we got the scores. So yes, they have been tested, but template has to, the correct answer for this question, it depends. If you still utilize a template that has too many pre-memorized sentences or generic sentences and you are just trying to make a fool of the exam, so that's why they have added the human review element for these type of questions, where they will check your response, and if they find these kind of patterns, then you will get a low score for that. So what is required here is a balance. Use the template as a structure so that at least you know how you need to write. That is really, really important. For every question, introduction, body, conclusion, every single question, summarize written text, summarize spoken text, not summarize written text because it's just one sentence, complex sentence, but summarize spoken text, essays, emails definitely needs to follow a proper structure. And that is what structure-based templates are going to give you, the ones that we are sharing with you. So they allow you to write more, and you have to write more. So you can't just depend on the templates to do most of the job. I agree that this used to work before, but now we all know that the exam has changed, so it is not going to work now. Yes, templates do work if you use it carefully. We do have comments as well. This one is an old comment, but new people and new test I showed you myself in the previous videos related to writing. You can go and have a look how I use the template or how I use the structure to write my responses and what scores I got. A perfect 90, almost close to 90, I got 89 in writing. So that's how much you need for superior English. 85 is the new requirement. I hope you all know, which was 79 before in writing. And the last but not the least, the mystery related to the extra word. This question keeps surfacing or resurfacing all the time. So extra words in write from dictation. Does it work or does it not work? Many people will tell you openly, yes, it works. And many people will completely tell you, no, it does not work. So you are in a state of confusion. You don't know what exactly is happening or how it is judged, because some channels, they just tell you or give the evidence of students, yes, I used extra words, but they are not telling you the logic behind it. So what is happening is, if a write from dictation question is, so you can see one chat which I had with a student of mine very recently, and you can see he has also used extra words. Now what I was telling you about the logic of extra words is, if the sentence itself is 10 words and then you are writing 20 words, so that is definitely a red flag, because the word count is just double. But if you only remember half of it and then you are using 5 to 6 extra words, so the word count is still 10 or 11. In that case, it is not a red flag, and that's how the extra words have to be used. If you already recall most of it, and then grammar can also help you to select whether it was singular or plural, or whether it was a past tense verb or a present tense verb. So those things you have to start relying on the grammar more rather than using the extra words. And 2 to 3 extra words, you can stick to that on a safe side. If you don't want to take any risk unnecessarily, you don't need to write if you already are able to recall. And there is a very good technique that I have shown to you before as well for write from dictation. You listen to it, you memorize it, you write down the initials, and then you start typing to reproduce while still memorizing it. So that technique definitely works, and that is how the extra words work in the exam. So if you use too many of them, the word count, first of all, you're also wasting time, and then secondly, you are adding too many things on your plate. So basically trying to trick the AI, and then of course there is no human review in this particular question, but it's not a rocket science to detect how much is the word count of the sentence. So hope it clarifies a lot of things for you when you are taking the exam after 7th of August. You don't need to worry about these things, because whatever I have told you are tried and tested, and these things work in the exam. If you're still struggling with the exam, no matter what you are trying is not working for you, just telegram us or WhatsApp us, and then we will be able to provide you live classes, the resources, complete package with access to app, portal, everything. You saw the demonstration of the questions. It's very user friendly. It's very good to give you the feedbacks. The level of feedbacks is extremely excellent in our AI. So that is something we are proud of, and if you want to get access to it, you can become a free or a live class student to get access to it. Even self-preparation packages are also offered. In the meantime, if you haven't watched the video related to the reading 10 grammar shortcuts, because grammar is important every single place in the exam, so you have to start from somewhere and also start improving on your vocabulary and the spellings. The playlist that we have prepared and published monthly on the vocabulary words, on the spelling words, you should start strengthening yourself for the exam and not getting weak. Keep watching Edutrainex, and I'll soon be back with another super informative video on PT topics. See you soon.